Hey everyone, I'm with LFA Welterweight Champion. Welcome, man. What's going on?
Oh man, going good, man. Just loving life. Just now healing up a little bit. You know what I mean. So about to be back in the gym tomorrow.
Oh, that's good, man. Jill, I'm sorry if I say your name wrong. How do you say it?
Yeah. Jaleel.
Jaleel. Okay.
Yep.
So Jaleel, what have you been up to lately, man? Since your fight.
Man, mostly just telling people thank you. You know what I mean. It's like going through the phone, replying back to message, trying to make sure I hit everybody that showed me any
Mm-hmm.
ounce of support last week because last week it was like so overwhelming and it was like unbelievable just coming back to the city and literally having, it's like people coming up to me, what I mean? It's like Walmart and Walgreens, like congratulations and having, just everybody's like just excited about the fight.
Right on.
What's going on, bro? You see what I'm saying? What's up, champ? It's like, come in. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you. So, do you find that's like overwhelming? How do you respond to that?
Man, I just try to, thank God and stay humble. You know what I mean? It's like, cause me personally, I knew that I would be on this level if I just stuck with it. I know how much I enjoy competing, and it's like, and I'm not just there to be a part. You know what I mean? I'm there to win, and so I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
knew I would get to this point, and just all the way through, like through each loss and each win, just like thank God, and just stay humble.
Right on, man. I like to hear that. Are you still training in Memphis? Whereabouts are you?
Yeah, I'm in Memphis, man. Yeah, it's like it's like everything I do is here in Memphis. Like so, like I don't do much like cross training, nothing like that.
Right.
And mostly because of my daughter, she's here, and my job, she got a lot goes on, and that's and I'm satisfied with my training, and so just try to kind of keep it like that.
Nice. So you're still doing that forklifting job or something? I remember I saw a video of you doing some
Oh
some
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like I actually, we actually got moved over to like a, like a better job. You know what I mean? I'm
Oh
it's
yeah.
like still within the same field. You know what I mean? Like the flooring industry, but it's just now more so on the office side of things and not in the warehouse sweating anymore.
Well, that's good. That's good, man. I mean, do you find it's easier now, or how do you is it
It's
better for your life? How like
yeah, it's better for me as far as like on my body. It's
right?
training. It's like easier, definitely not easier. More work, what I mean, more responsibilities and
Yeah.
you gotta step up and rise to the occasion on that one.
Okay. No, your coach is it? Are you still? Is your coach still Andy?
Yeah, and you're
Okay.
yep.
And now, obviously, it's labeled as like a BJJ gym, but is that
hmm
kind of what you primarily train, or what exactly would you describe yourself as?
Oh man, I would say more so of like I'll do a lot of jujitsu. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like jujitsu and like trying to, just train our wrestling and our jujitsu together. But I spend a majority of my training, on the jujitsu mats, like doing mostly nogi. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yep.
Do you? I don't know. Like for me, like I've done BJJ and I don't know. For me, I find the nogi a lot better, but that's
Right,
just
right.
because for me, I've so I actually what it was is I've been training with guys. It's just lifestyle training, but we
hmm
went over to a BJJ gym just across the street, and they go in. They're like, "Yeah, you need to bring your gis." I'm like, "What?" Because
Right,
like for
yeah.
us we train all and like we train all aspects. Like I come from a karate background, so
hmm
we have to wear geese. I'm like, okay, no problem. Well, we
Right.
go in and they're showing us all this different stuff, and it's like totally threw my game off because it's like
hmm
I'm used to just having no gi and just throwing people around
Right,
and
right.
yeah. So do you find no gi easier? How do you
I
uh,
actually it trips me out, man. It's like I like I enjoy Nogi. I do Nogi mostly, but whenever I go into a gi class, man, you best believe that's like some of the most fun I've had, in like a long time. And not like because it's like easier, but it's 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 a little bit more challenging for me. But at the same time I could see where some of my wrestling credentials and just knowledge of like, scrambles, like really plays well in gi jiu-jitsu. And it's certain things I learned, like, it's like from me almost like kind of, not really knowing Nagi and being as efficient, as like, with their like moves and shit like that. It's like I come in and a lot of stuff is like it's new to me and I'm excited to learn it or excited to figure out how to get out of it. Or it's like, some stuff I notice in gi is like a lot, you know, there's like a lot more interesting than me. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
so I guess because it's like, a lot of the gi techniques are new.
Right. Right. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I guess I just want to start from the beginning here. What got you started in MMA in the first place?
Man, it's like, I, used to be a wrestler. It's like, so,
Yeah.
what I mean? I was trying to just find ways to just like be around the mat or it's like just be around just grappling or something. It's like I had to see it or I had to, be a part of it. So my buddy Chase, man, he ended up, like telling me about these like jujitsu gyms that was around. This one that he was at, I went and got on the mat with him a couple of times. So I got introduced to jujitsu first,
Yeah.
and it was like me just like trying to be able to, like work to, I guess, pay for like a tuition, like pay mat fees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I had to, like find look in and out of jobs. And so at one point, like as soon as my jujitsu career started, like just as quickly as it started, it was over because I couldn't afford to, be at any gym.
Right.
So with me having to get like some jobs, like some people knew about, like I've trained with them before, so they helped me out like with like little jobs like selling T-shirts for this one guy. And he, I actually met him through a gym, you know what I mean? It's like, so he took me to an MMA event and I was selling his, products, his T-shirts, and it just so happened they had a back out, needed somebody to fight and fill in, and it's like they saw his apparel and they automatically knew, it's like whoever this guy is, what I mean, he knows something about fighting, and so they just came and asked me would I fight later that night. Told him yeah, put me out there against the guy who was 11-5. It's like he left there 11-6, it's like, and got introduced to a good friend, and he was he was a pro at the time,
Yeah.
so he introduced me to like the gym I'm at now, and we just it's like just kind of took off from there, you know.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting that you brought up that story because I was just about to ask you about the whole
Yeah,
thing, but you selling the T-shirts and stuff. So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, you kind of beat me to it on that.
Yeah, it's like that's how I got in it though, man. It's like for real, just trying to like, 'cause I wouldn't have been working or caring about working. You know what I mean? It's like the only thing I really cared about was wrestling and still being around, the sport. So with that opportunity, it's like kind of gave me a little drive. Man, it's like, well, I do want to work and
Hmm.
well, I do want to be able to pay for, a mat fee and be on the mat and stuff like that. And if I gotta get a job or work this way, I'll do it. And it worked out perfectly for me. I'm happy.
Well, that's good to hear, man. And kind of moving forward here. So obviously you've had experience fighting at lightweight. Naturally, you're welterweight here. So
Hmm.
do you feel better fighting at welterweight? How's the weight cut to lightweight?
Oh man, it's not as gruesome as it used to be. You know, I mean, I've done a couple
Right.
practice cuts, and we figured out that it's not the cutting that you know that gets me. It's the rehydration. You know,
Okay.
that I had to properly get properly figure out for my body, and it's like, and I had a lot of help. So with the practice cuts, it helped me see where you know it's like how lightweight still is a good home for me. You know what I mean? So it's like I'll I more so feel better at lightweight. But I welcome on welterweight because of the fact I've competed there my whole life, pretty much, even
Hmm.
in high school. So it's nothing new to me, but I gotta be realistic. It's only a 7 pound cut for me, to
Right.
welterweight. Right.
And that's one thing I never understand with some fighters is that, they might walk around at a certain weight and
Hmm.
they'll cut so much weight to make a certain weight class, and I just don't understand, like, why would you do that to yourself? And I understand
Yeah.
there's advantages and stuff like
Right.
that, but
Right.
it doesn't make sense to me. If you can
Yeah.
easily cut to a certain weight, you might
Hmm.
as well.
Yeah. And that's why I didn't argue with LFAs, they're offered us like pretty much stay at 170. I didn't argue it at all. Sorry, because I
Yeah.
knew, I was like, man, what I mean, I've messed up with this weight cut before in the past, and I didn't look as good. So I
Yeah.
understand. You know what I mean? It's like I didn't do my job when it came down to it. So and I'm grateful. I'm like I'm grateful to be here right now. So let me do my job right now, and just keep it in that ear and let them know, like, yo, I'm still a lightweight. You know what I mean? It's like I very
Yeah.
much can make it, and I feel that I got it down packed to where I'm able to go out and compete, just as well as I can make the weight.
Yeah, and kind of talking about weight cutting here, I there is that saying that some fighters have mentioned in the past that when they cut to a certain weight and then they go back to their natural weight class, they actually have a hard time keeping on the weight when they do
Hmm.
come to the fight. Have you ever had that problem?
Yeah, this last fight, it's like I was trying my hardest to get back up in weight. You know what I mean? It's like I think I actually I actually only weighed about 178, maybe, and that's last fight against Vinicius. So I
Yeah.
can and I tried everything. I've tried so hard to, like rehydrate and get back up, and I felt good. I felt rehydrated. My body felt normal, but it was only like 178 pounds, like, so I really don't get it though. But you know what I mean? It's like I just see it as like my body feel good. I feel good. It's like I go out there and perform, still, make stuff happen. You know what I mean?
Nice, nice. And I'm not particularly familiar with Legacy Fighting Championship with all their weight classes, but they
Hmm.
would they have the middleweight as well?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Middleweight.
Would
Um,
that be something that would interest you in the future, or would you just like to stay at welterweight?
man, like it's kind of funny. It's like I went. I don't think I would fight middleweight, and like LFA, they have some like real monsters that be coming through there, and I be seeing them like, God damn, that's a big old dude. And
Yeah.
it's like, but it's like like on the regional scene, whatever. Yeah, I'm down. Like I fight a I fight a middleweight. It's like back in March, my last regional fight was actually at middleweight because
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah, it's like it was a top guy, but I knew it was like I don't know, it's like not trying to downplay it, but I was like, it's a regional promotion. I don't want to cut weight. I just want to show up and perform and what I mean, like compete and feel good, and what I mean. It's like so the opponent I had, I you know felt comfortable with fighting him at middleweight, so he just went for that.
So I'm hearing you say is you wouldn't have a problem making the weight for middleweight then.
Yeah, right, right. Like literally, I think I just went like for a jog that morning and I made the weight. So
Nice.
so it was literally it's like it felt good to just keep kind of feel like Vander Holyfield was. I mean, I was like able to lift weights and
Yeah.
like eat good and stuff like that, and I wasn't like packing on a bunch of like muscle or like getting like real bloated, nothing like that. It was like I just felt like healthy, felt good, you know.
Oh, good. That's good to hear,
Yeah.
man. And obviously, I'm sure you're confident in your abilities to win a fight, and you're confident in
Hmm.
your abilities as a champion now. Now, obviously, you've been on a 4-fight win streak. Would you say that's a contribute to, like, do you find that that would be a give you confidence to capture that title as you did?
Yeah, man. It's like I think the thing that really gave me confidence was when I just kind of put together, how
Yeah,
I've been taking on challenge after challenge. You know what I mean? It's like, and even with the ones that I came up short on, I learned a lot, and I was able to add on, you know, to things that I'm doing. It's like, still need a lot of work, but I don't know, man. It's like I felt okay. Like, you know what I mean? I felt like I'm I'm on the right track. You know what I mean? It's like my
hmm
goal is to be one of the best, so I'm gonna have to fight some of the best. And it's like I know like what comes with that. You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna take some bumps and bruises along the way.
yeah,
And it me, I just like like I'm willing to get back up for whatever reason. I'm like I'm not knocked down and I'm not out. It's like I want to keep fighting. And I felt like if I was like, it was the other way around. If I was like losing constantly, part of me would still wanna, it's like still fight and still compete. You know what I mean? Just because of how much I enjoy, you know, just competing. It's like being around.
right. That's all right. Now, when for your recent title fight, was there anything that you changed in your training camp, or anything you
Uh,
did to prepare?
Oh man, no, we did everything the same. It's like it's like pretty much like the way Memphis come together when we have like huge opportunities. It's always like routine. We we try to make sure we getting different looks. Try to make sure we're not
Yeah.
doing too much. We'll get together and like group runs, like group conditionings and stuff like that. Just try to make sure everybody's just like staying motivated in good headspace. You'll have people calling you, giving you words of confidence. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's literally did everything the same. But what if I could say if there's something I did different is I trusted Andy. Like I trusted everything Andy told me, and I trusted everything Andy let me know about myself and what he was saying to me.
Right.
And that's what I did different. You know what I mean? Because it was at one point it was very hard for me to see myself as a top competitor, as this, that, and the other, and I was a paper champ. You know what I mean? It's like, but seeing the stuff that Andy put me through, knowing how hard it was to, like get through some of those sessions and I always come out on top. It's
hmm
like, it's like, why not? You know what I mean? It's like, so I've seen him do it before, I've seen him have to overcome adversity when
Right.
it was, brought to his table. So I'm like, I can, it's like I'm motivated to do the same, you know what I mean?
Right. And and obviously, it's not been your first time to headline a card.
Yes,
So what
sir.
was your feeling going into the fight? Was it different because of the title fight, or did you feel the same? How did you perceive that
Okay.
upcoming
So
fight?
so for a while it was different for me because I was kind of putting, like I was kind of trying to stack up the bad, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
I'm like it's my first time in a 5 round fight. It's my first time fighting for a title. It's my first time, fighting a Brazilian athlete. It's like I was really just kind of trying to stack everything up, and
Yeah.
I thought about it. It's like when I was actually like on the plane right there and just kind of dialing back on what was going on, I realized I'm like, hold up, man. It's like if I'm not mistaken, this I think this is his first time going 5 rounds too. It's like, and I've been, 10 rounds in the gym, you know what I mean? Like 10 5 minute rounds, like doing like gruesome stuff. I'm like, so it still should be the same, It's like, and then I kind of put it together like, he says like, man, this is my fifth time, headlining the card, it's like headlining a co-headliner, It's like so I had to put that together too. So, and I thought about him. I was like, he's a four-time, Bellator veteran, but if I'm not mistaken, I think they was all preliminary bouts.
Yeah.
Like so I just was like, man, if you look at it, it's like I'm the one who's conditioned to this, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I'm the one who's been here before, and like I'm, on paper, I'm stacked up just as well. I'm like, I just gotta go out here and implement this, and believe in what's going on, and not just, go off of a stat sheet or go off of, like something's gonna fall in my lap. Just gotta go out there, you know what I mean? It's like do the best I can, go out, try to grind and get it, and I'm gonna see opportunities and I'm gonna see doors open that he want to go out of, and I'm gonna open those doors for him.
Yeah, and it sounds like you had pretty much more of the advantage over him at the end of the day. Like
Hmm.
you've been in that situation where you've gone the rounds, and like you said, he's just done the preliminary fights.
Hmm.
So I think for any fighter, I think I guess it is kind of a bit of a learning curve when you get into so many prelim fights, and then you get a main fight card, or you get like the main event fight, and you're
Yeah,
doing 5 rounds versus 3. There's a lot of adjustment for sure. So I mean, I
yeah,
think for
yeah.
you definitely had that advantage over him.
Hmm.
Sure.
And
Um,
I noticed that too. Just like in between rounds, I could look over his show. I can look over my coach's shoulder, and I could see him clearly. And like he didn't look tired or fatigued, but he looked like bothered. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like it was pretty stressful, like being
Hmm.
inside there. And like the moment there was like almost as if like he really was just needed the fight to get to the point. You know what I mean? It's like I could see just some uncomfortability just right inside his eyes, and
100%.
me, yeah, yeah. And with me, I was just like, one of my favorite people to look at in the corner is Greg Jackson. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
so I'm like, that's what I'm thinking about when I'm in my corner. It's like I want to be calm. It's like I really would like for this to be like a conversation the way me and you talking. It's like
Hmm.
in the corners, like slow that heart rate down. Just like get a sip of water, go back out there. It's like clear heads. It's like just like really take that recovery process serious on like slowing, just like slowing it down and not just like panic, panic, panic. You know what I mean? Like what we doing wrong? What's next? What's up with this?
Hmm. Yeah, and yeah, I could see that. Now, obviously, we were talking a couple of days ago about having this interview here. I know you mentioned that you had a couple other ones today. So, as being a champ, how do you embrace the media obligations?
Uh, man, it's it's new to me, and
Okay,
so I'm just hoping I'm doing it right. You know what I mean? It's like,
doing good
it's
so
like
far.
yeah, it's like I'm just trying to, it's like I said, man, it's like I don't see myself as like no superstar, like rock star type of dude. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
I just see it as what I mean, I work hard, and people's like appreciate hard work, and so that's what I was trying to do. I'm just trying to embrace it by knowing that I'm like, yo, I appreciate y'all, what I mean, like taking
yeah.
notice and like giving me my time, because I love it, you know what I mean?
And I think like every fighter, when you do get that media, it's not just you're doing it because it's something that to get your name out there, but also I think it's a part of that whole I worked hard, I should get the
Hmm.
recognition, I need to get my name out there,
Yep.
people should know who I am, kind of
Right,
idea.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So and what I mean, it's like me, it's pretty easy to embrace, it's like especially when You know what I mean? It's like as grateful as I am just to be, here still fighting 10 years,
Yeah.
it's like a lot of people don't even really make it this far.
Mm-hmm. And I know that you just had a fight, and I know you're probably in the mindset where you don't really want to look too far ahead. I'm sure,
Hmm.
but is there you being the champ now? Is there anyone that you'd like to have your first title fight defense against, or?
Man, to be honest, no. I saw LFA last night and I seen some pretty hot contenders, It's like,
Yeah.
but and I can't say that it's somebody who I could just like single out and be like, I want to fight him because I know my goal is to welcome on all challengers, all comers, and I'll really wouldn't mind for that next challenge to be a challenge in the UFC.
Okay, so yeah, that kind of opens up my next question now. So, obviously there's been a lot of LFA fighters who've been successful transitioning from LFA to UFC, whether they get into the Contender Series, like I think last week, maybe 4 or 5 days ago, I was with Crystal Demopoulos,
Hmm.
strawweight champ from LFA. She made her debut on the Dana White Contender Series. Is that something that you would be interested in doing that Contender Series, or would you like just to transition to UFC and get like a fight with someone?
And me personally, I'm it's like I've tried to get into the contender for a long time,
Yeah.
and like I don't think I'm a good fit for it. With how they look to make the good matchups and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Like I feel like I'm more so of a better fit of going in and going directly into the UFC, and it's like taking on a good challenge inside there and showing just like just it's like a fight like that.
Would you be open for something like maybe a top 15 guy, like someone around that area to kind of slowly introduce you into the UFC? How would you,
Yep,
what would you like?
exactly like that, like a top 15 guy, it's like or top 20, just somebody to where they know that this is a real test for him coming in. It's like, and if they have to be on short notice, like I said, I'm getting back in the gym on Monday, so I can be ready for that. It's like feel like this title fight was kind of a short notice. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
but me being constant in the gym, it's like they got the phone call. It was nothing to shy away from. I was ready.
Well, it's good, man. And I mean, Dana White, McMaynard, take notice of this guy. Please sign him.
Yeah, they will. They will. They will, man. I'm pretty sure they will.
Eventually. But
Yes, sir.
and I guess just the last thing for you, I know, you probably it's been a long day.
Hmm.
So, as a champ, what's your statement for your return in your next fight? Like,
Man, you know, just a statement. My statement is, like you don't gotta, it's like really see me as a great fighter or see me as like a dominant force, but I work hard, and if I got you on my, I got you on my contract, and I'm have the perfect game plan to come inside and give you the toughest fight that you've ever had, and man, it's gonna be real hard to stop me. It's like when I'm on this path right here, when me and my coaches, like when we're synced up like this, and how well Memphis is like, coming together right now. So I think it's gonna be real hard to, you know, just like derail us for right now. You know what I mean?
absolutely, and hopefully you can make that 4 win streak to a 5 winning streak and
Yeah.
continue that streak, dude.
Oh yeah, it's gonna keep going, man. That's for sure. It's like you know, like I said, I took my bumps, took my bruises, and it's like, man, I'm well prepared to fucking keep that shit rolling. And it's like I said, man, I'm just here to compete, just here, fucking do my thing. Like that's it for me, bro. So I'm just trying to do it. You know what I mean?
Right on, man. I appreciate that. Well, Mr. Willis, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. thank you for taking your time to talk about your career. Good luck with your upcoming fights, and looking forward to your next title defense.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Man, not a problem, man. You take care.
You too, man.